Let's take a look at Avalanche. Last time we looked at Avalanche was on November the 21st. That's when I spotted the sell signal. The following is a recap of that video. The width of the Bollinger Band is extremely wide. This is an indication that Avalanche is definitely way overextended. If we look back in the past, when Avalanche spiked up and ran from about $20 all the way to $60, we saw the Bollinger Band expanded. And at this point, it was way overextended. Avalanche has to retrace and consolidate to allow the Bollinger Band to contract. And then the width of the band get to the point where it gets very tight. And this support another spike up in price. So based on what we see here, the Bollinger Band at this point in time is way overextended. And right now, Avalanche is actually trading above the upper band of this Bollinger Band, way overheated. So there's no doubt in my mind that the near-term upside potential is very limited. Avalanche will definitely need to retrace and consolidate to allow the Bollinger Band to contract before it could build enough momentum to support another run-up. Regardless how great Avalanche is, it is way overextended right now. Looking at the stochastic oscillator, Avalanche is in this way overbought territory. And just now, we saw the blue signal line cross over and drop below the red line. This is an indication of a beginning of a downward trend. We will see the retracement begin, could be as early as today and over the next couple of weeks. Avalanche would likely retrace, and if we base on the average or typical retracement based on this Fibonacci retracement, I expect to see Avalanche retrace and then consolidate and likely end up between the 50 to 61.8% retracement. And that would give us the target between 98 to 87. The Bollinger Band and the stochastic oscillator are pointing to Avalanche is ready to retrace. It is a sell signal for me. And that's why I took 50% off. And I am waiting for Avalanche to retrace. And I do expect Avalanche to drop below 100. Fast forward, this is the daily chart for Avalanche. And the data I have is 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on December the 8th. Last time when we look at Avalanche was on November the 21st. That's when Avalanche was going on this really nice bull run, established an all-time high at over 146. And precisely as how I had anticipated, Avalanche started this retracement immediately the following day. When Bitcoin crashed, that caused the price to drop all the way down to about $76, where it finds support at this prior high, but immediately buyer stepped in, supported the price. And Avalanche ended up closing higher than the low. And then the following 4 days, we see Avalanche stabilizing, and it seemed to find support right at around the $87, which is inside the range that I had anticipated. Avalanche would likely stabilize between a low of 87 to a high of 98. And that is precisely how Avalanche is behaving right now. Let's look at Avalanche on this 4-hour chart. After Avalanche ran up, established its all-time high at 146, then the price started to retrace following this downward channel. And as you can see, when it tests the resistance, it gets rejected. Then Avalanche dropped all the way down to about 76. It seemed to find support right at this level as the price retraced again, retested that, bounced up. Now it is staying inside the range at 87 and 98. As long as Bitcoin stabilizes, there is a very high probability that Avalanche would run up and retest this prior high. But the major resistance is right at 100. If Avalanche can cross over 100 and stabilize over that, then it would likely break outside of the resistance of this downward channel. And that would be the first signal to indicate that the price would begin this reversal. If Bitcoin continue to retrace, there's always that possibility that 87 may not hold support, and Avalanche would likely retest this low at 76 again. But let's talk about my trading strategy, which is the 50-50. I talk about that a lot during my live stream. And if you watch my prior video, I indicated that when I spot the sell signal, I took 50% off at $135. And now I am starting to accumulate, and at the price that Avalanche is at right now, which is around $90. For every token that I saw at 135, now I can get 1.5 more. So the 50-50 strategy does work. The key is you have to anticipate when the sell signal is and be patient enough to wait for the price to reach your target, because there's always that temptation when the price dropped down to this level here to jump in. When the price rebounded, there's always that concern that, hey, I may miss out the low, but that is not really the case. So the key thing is look at the chart and then be patient enough to wait for the price to drop to your target price before you begin the accumulation. And the 50-50 trading strategy, the whole idea is not having to spend any additional money, but over time, try to increase the number of tokens that you have. And so far, it seemed to work out really well for me. Finally, looking at the daily chart, the Bollinger Band is still overstretched, so I don't anticipate Avalanche to make another spike up in price soon. Very likely within the next 3 to 4 weeks, Avalanche would be trading sideways. To allow the Bollinger Band to contract, we need to see the width of the band get as narrow as around this point. That would be an indication that there is enough momentum build up to support another run up in price. That's it for this video, and don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at VietMaxim, because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.